People have been calling this Chiefs run luck, and everybody loves to hate on greatness. But right now, this Chiefs team is once again the best team in football with a 15-1 record. People hate to admit it, but they've got a great chance to win another Super Bowl. And this core that has stuck together for the last 5 years or so with Mahomes, Kelce, Chris Jones, and then there's just kind of been a revolving door everywhere else. Well, not a revolving door, but guys stepping in, stepping up, next man up mentality when they lose guys to free agency or the attrition that comes with trying to maintain continuity on a football team year after year, and they've handled it fantastically. They have a above average offensive line with Thuney now sliding over to left tackle. They got Creed Humphrey in the middle there. They've got a couple of good running backs with Pacheco, with Kareem Hunt, and they also have a solid defense. Nick Bolton is having a phenomenal year. They've got Justin Reid back there. Trent McDuffie is playing well. George Karlaftis has had a solid season. And then offensively, they've got a few weapons on the outside now with an aging but still effective DeAndre Hopkins, even though they lost Rashee Rice. And then they also have the rookie with Xavier Worthy around Travis Kelce, who has been the number one option here in Kansas City for forever. And this team is poised to win another Super Bowl. Like it or not. Now for the whole let's hate on Mahomes crowd. Sure, he's not had the best Mahomes year. Only not quite 4,000 yards, and there's still a game left, but will he really play that much with them being 15-1? We'll see. 26 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. Not been great, but he hasn't had his number one receiver for all but 3 games this year. But this offense has started to heat up a little bit. 20 plus in the last 3 games, 29 versus the Steelers. And the best thing about Mahomes has always been his improvisation that, when the pocket breaks down, he can still get out and turn it into a positive play. He's got 307 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. And then he also does that, like twice a game. And yeah, it looks a little Mahomey because it is a little bit Mahomey, right? And then just off the back foot, firing a laser right to Kelce. Yes, there's enough glazing on the internet. I don't have to do any more. I don't have to add to it. But Mahomes is until somebody beats him, he's the best quarterback in the NFL right now. As for Kelce, a little bit of a down year for him as well. 97 catches, 823, and 3 touchdowns. Over the last 6 seasons, obviously, he's been the best tight end in the game. 100 catches, 1,283 yards and 9 touchdowns on average over those seasons. So this year's nothing compared to those years. But still, he's been a more than serviceable tight end. We'll see if he gets up to 900 yards. I don't know about it. But yeah, this duo is still elite. And then DeAndre Hopkins has somewhat stepped up since being traded over from the Titans. The last 10 games, he's had 41 catches for 437 yards and 3 touchdowns. On pace for, a little over 700 yards on a full season. Now, this isn't prime D-Hop by any means, where from 2017 to 2020, he was going out getting over 100 receptions, close to 1,400 yards a year. But still, DeAndre Hopkins, even in the later parts of his career, is still being able to have an impact on this team while Rashee Rice has been down. He will be 32, so we'll see if he comes back to the team next year. But another what if is what if Rashee Rice comes back for the playoffs. The key word in his ruling there was he was going to be out for the regular season. So we'll see if he comes back for the playoffs. But this Chiefs team, they can win in more ways than one, and they rely on this number 2 defense headed by Steve Spagnuolo and Nick Bolton, who has anchored this defense this year with 106 total tackles, 11 for loss, 2 fumble recoveries, and a pick so far this year. Drew Tranquill has also been pretty solid as well back there as the number 2 linebacker, 94 total tackles, 6 for loss, and 2 fumble recoveries for him. So between those two, they got a couple of really, really good linebackers. Now, real quick, if you've made it this far in the video, make sure to like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 1K, trying to get monetized soon. And then defensively on the D-line, just like on the O-line, they have a 2-man wrecking crew where Thuney and Creed Humphrey are for the offense is what Chris Jones and George Karlaftis are defensively. Now, Chris Jones is also showing some signs of getting up there in age. He's 30 years old. He's had 5 sacks, 8 tackles for loss, 37 tackles, and a forced fumble in 15 games this year. Like Kelce, maybe like Mahomes, a little bit of regression this year, where over the last 5 years, he's averaged about 11.2 sacks, 11 tackles for loss, and 36 tackles. Whereas this year, he's only missed 1 game, so he still has 1 game left, but I don't see him getting 6 sacks. So maybe a little bit of regression from Chris Jones, and that's fine because he still makes a huge impact on the game. Huge, if you know what I'm saying. And then George Karlaftis, 8 sacks, 9 tackles for loss, 35 tackles on the year, and 5 passes defended. And he's only started in 11 of the 16 games. Isaiah McDuffie and Justin Reid anchor this secondary, and then Jaden Hill Jaden Hicks, has had 3 picks this year to lead this team defensively. But yeah, that's what makes this Chiefs team special, is they can win in more ways than one, right? Whether it's, an explosive offense or a fantastic defense headed by Spagnuolo, you never really know what you're going to get, but you do know one thing, and that is, even if they do work some of their voodoo magic, this Chiefs team is going to be really, really tough to beat. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. That's enough Chiefs glaze for one day. Make sure to like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit the subscribe button if you did enjoy today's video at any point. And with all that being said, thanks so much for watching.